out! You are trespassing! Get out!
I'm so sorry,
Get out! Are you deaf?
Okay. I was leaving.
Get out!
I was leaving.
Shut your face and get out!
So as you can see, Gus Lamont's grandfather, has pulled a gun on a reporter from the Daily Mail. Absolutely blew my mind. So let's check this out.
All I have in this world is my oaths, my word, and I don't break them for good. It's like
Rightio, so this is from the Daily Mail on YouTube. Let's go.
Out! You are trespassing! Get out!
I'm so sorry,
Get out! Are you deaf?
Okay. I was leaving.
Get out!
I was leaving.
Shut your face and get out!
Angry. So is that Gus's grandmother or grandfather? I'm confused here.
It's a long, barren road out to the Murray's property, but we're just about here. This is always hard to have these conversations with families in such tragic circumstances.
I imagine it would be if you just rock up to their house anyway, even though there's very suspect stuff going on there. But if you're rocking up to people's house without telling them, you're probably going to get the same response from me, if I'm honest, but only without the firearm.
But here we go. My name is Jonica Bray and I'm a senior reporter at the Daily Mail. I'm currently in Yunta, South Australia, where I have been covering the case of Gus Lamont, the missing 4-year-old. It's been over a month since Gus disappeared at his grandparents' remote property with no sign of the little boy. I've travelled.
So as you know, they did start to drain the dam the other day, and I believe there was no results there, or we would have heard about them, but they are starting to do some kind of a search back there again, it seems.
Deep into the South Australian outback to try to speak to the Murray family to hear their side of the story firsthand. But what unfolded when I arrived was something I could never have expected.
Get out! Are you deaf?
Within minutes, I found myself staring down a shotgun. Here's what we know about that fateful day more than a month ago when Gus went missing. Gus was playing on a...
Wasn't that a pump action shotgun? Pretty sure that, yeah. I might be different on farms or whatnot, but I'm pretty sure they were outlawed.
Pile of dirt outside the property that afternoon. Grandmother Shannon discovered Gus was gone when she went to call him inside for dinner at around 5:30 p.m. The family reported him missing 3 hours later. Shannon was inside the homestead looking after Gus's 1-year-old brother Ronnie when the little boy vanished. It has been reported that
3 hours is a long time, if you ask me. Like, I'd imagine if it was me, I'd be searching frantically for, a short amount of time so I could get as many eyes and hands on the scene to help with the search.
Gus's mum, Jessica, was with Josie looking for lost sheep around...
Okay. So I think that was Josie that just had the shotgun.
10 k's from the homestead when Gus disappeared. The whereabouts of Gus's mother, Jessica Murray, and his 1-year-old brother, Ronnie, are currently unknown. Locals say that they haven't seen any sign of them since the tragic day that Gus went missing. 2 hours away from the Murray station, Gus's father, Joshua...
there's so many things that stink about this. Now, I'm not saying it's a little bit sus, actually. I am saying that. Like, I just don't understand the complete shut off from the public that would absolutely love to help in this situation. I just don't understand it. And I think if the past is anything to go off, well, we aren't even seeing crocodile tears yet.
Lamont has been living in and renovating a home in Belaley North. Since Gus went missing, the house appears to be deserted, with talk of a deepening rift between him and the rest of the Murray family. It's understood Joshua only found out that his child was missing when the police woke him up in his Belaley North home hours after Gus had vanished.
That's crap. Even though he lives hours away, you could definitely call the dad and say, like, listen, start driving here now because your son is missing. Once again, suspect.
South Australia police say there are no suspicious circumstances surrounding Gus's disappearance and that they believe the boy had wandered off. Daily Mail does not suggest otherwise. Since then, the Murray family have remained largely silent.
I mean, I'll suggest otherwise. What I don't understand is they've got the best trackers, the best searches, the best equipment, the best technology, and they could not find one skerrick of evidence to suggest that Gus had walked away. And so what I would suggest is what that is suggesting is that he was taken away. And so, they live on dirt properties. It's going to be impossible to get in and off that property without leaving some kind of evidence like your tyre tracks.
Refusing to speak publicly and staying inside the same property.
So in other words, what I'm getting at is the tyre prints that are normally there are not raising suspicion when maybe they should.
Gus was last seen. I set out for Oak Park Station.
Actually, as a matter of fact, now let's go back here, right? Because as you can see, Gus's grandparent is with a dog here. And so it is suggested that, I lived on farms when I was younger, very young. And so I've never lived on a cattle station or anything like that. But I've been speaking to people that live on cattle stations and they find it hard to believe that a child of that age would be going anywhere outside without his own dog. And it is very common for a child of that age to already have their own dog that would be spending every moment with them. Suspect.
Gus was last seen. I set out for Oak Park Station to ask the family if they were ready to break their silence. But what I encountered when I arrived at the property shocked me and turned this reporting trip into something far more dangerous than I ever anticipated. You're now about to see what happened when I came face to face with Josie Murray, Gus's transgender grandmother.
Who are you?
Pardon?
Who are you?
I'm with the media.
Out! You are trespassing. Get out!
I'm so sorry.
Get out! Are you deaf?
Okay. I was leaving.
Get out!
I was leaving.
Shut your face and get out! We'll have the police on you because you've been warned not to come here. Get out!
I haven't been here
Get
before.
out!
I haven't been here before.
What are you, deaf? Get out!
Shocked and shaken, my photographer and I fled the property and made our way back to Yunta. The following day, I made a police report about what had unfolded at the property. The altercation happened just hours before the police announced that they would resume the search for little Gus for the third time. So I'm here on the road leading up to the Yunta property where Gus Lamont went missing just over 30 days ago. Behind me is the search, rescue and police who are arriving for the third search for Gus Lamont. The plan today is to dredge the dam, which is on the property. It's about 4.5 meters deep and we actually don't know how long this is going to
Damn, damn, no pun intended. That's a really deep dam. Damn.
take, but we're going to follow the convoy now up to the homestead and cover this story as it unfolds. Just driving up to the Oak Park property. So this is the homestead where Gus Lamont was last seen. So this is the third search that starts today for Gus Lamont. The previous two were called off after no trace of the little boy was found. The convoy of search and rescue, police have already headed up. We're just hanging back a little bit now as we go. It's probably another 45 minutes until we get up to the property. It's a really long, dusty, bumpy, rugged terrain out here. The dust from the convoy of the vehicles just fills the whole air. It's impossible to see. So we're just hanging back a little bit now so that we can just drive up there safely. Obviously, there's a lot of tension in the air today. I can just only imagine how the family...
They say a convoy. There's literally a truck and a full drive. That's a massive convoy.
will be feeling right now. Whilst certainly don't want to find Gus in the dam, it's possibly the only closure that the family are going to have. So I don't feel like there's any good outcomes from today, but maybe it brings some peace to people, which I feel like this whole community needs, because the mystery of Gus's disappearance is one that the community are never going to recover from, and everybody needs answers. In Friday's search, officers will once again focus their attention on the family's homestead. The property is so remote, it is at the far end of a 40k lonely, deserted road. It is quite literally in the...
So it's Saturday here in Australia right now. So they've been there for 24 hours and there's been zero updates about, any discoveries or anything like that. So I would imagine that that's not the
middle
case.
of nowhere. This is a story of a missing child and a family on edge. We're going to be here for the rest of the weekend and as long as the search is in place, and we will be keeping you updated.
Well, yeah, there you go. I don't know. There's a lot of grey areas in this story, I think. So yeah, like I said at the start, I don't know. Something just doesn't sit right with this, and I think that the way that the family are reacting post Gus going missing is not making it any better for them. Now, why wouldn't you want the public to help, or why are you making it harder for the public? Like, why did it take 5 days for you to give the police a photo so that if anyone in the public had seen Gus, because that's what these photos are for, but like the family made out like it was some breach of privacy and all this just crap, and I just don't understand it. But also, I don't know. I can tell you this for a fact, right? So, as a general citizen of the public, you cannot own a pump action shotgun here in Victoria. Now, that might be different in other states. It might be different in this state if you are a farmer. But I am led to believe that those guns were 100% outlawed. And I'm not saying that was a pump action, but that's definitely what it did look like. And I just think that there's a lot of suspect stuff going on there. And believe me, the police wouldn't be continually going back there if they didn't believe that Gus was there. So there's obviously something that is keeping the police and the search at that property. They obviously believe that something is going on at that property. But so many crazy things have happened. So that car was found near the search area. I will say it was a couple of 100 k's away, and but it is still very close to the search area in a very remote area. And that person who abandoned that car has not been seen since either. So I think that those are big, massive bits of evidence, and it just seems like they're just getting swept under the carpet. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section, because I believe, this is really starting to stink now, and old grandma pa pulling out the gun, and things. I think very soon that things are going to start coming unstuck, and I don't care saying that, because what they're doing is very suspicious. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and I will keep everyone updated with the Gus Lamont stuff. I have been the Chaos Chronicles. You guys have been absolutely awesome, and if you haven't already, please shoot down there, shoot me a subscription. That'd be absolutely appreciated. And if you smash that bell icon, you'll never miss any of my clips again. And as always, don't do drugs and crime, and you won't end up in prison. We out.